Hey, High Point. Well, it's August and the summer is flying by and August flies by even faster than the other months. So as kids are getting back and stuff and you're buckling back down again for the next big thing at work or home or whatever, we want to tell you and let you know what's happening here this fall. So even though church isn't your life, you're involved in the things that will help you live the most God life. And so I want to tell you a little bit about this fall. As most of you know, we're going through a series in 1 Corinthians. And when we get to the fall in September, we're going to go through a series that is going to focus on 1 Corinthians 12 through 14, which focuses on spiritual gifts, which may sound like a sort of spiritual topic. But what it does is it talks about how the gifts and abilities and strengths and resources that we have are designed by God so that we can take our place that's designed for us by God in His kingdom for His purposes in everything that we do. And we're going to do a series. In some ways, it'll be a little bit like Gospel in Life last year, but in a lot of ways, it won't be, in that it'll be shorter. It's not going to be as intense or any of those things. But you are going to want to be involved in it. It's going to start September 23rd. It'll be only 6 weeks long. And it'll focus on finding our spiritual gifts, understanding them, and understanding where to deploy them in God's kingdom, and how this is a really integral part of what God has for all of our lives and His will for us. And so there's a few things that we're asking you to plan on. One, plan on being at church all 6 weeks, starting September 23rd and following. Secondly, we want to ask you to be in a short-term small group if you're not in a long-term small group for those 6 weeks. You can sign up for only those 6 weeks, and that's totally fine. You can try out small group life if you haven't done it before, or try a different small group if you didn't like your last one. But the main thing is for you to actually do this 6-week study in small groups. It'll be somewhat related to the sermons, but it'll also include other curriculum stuff that helps you look at what your passion is, how that fits with your background in education, how that works with what gifts you might have, and how this all comes together for how God is going to use you in ways that you may not have anticipated. Now, one of the reasons this is so important is in these small group times, we're going to have a spiritual gifts assessment that's going to help you actually figure out what it is. And then about the middle of this campaign, we're going to launch a church-wide software that we're going to use to get people involved in service all through the year. And it's going to be specifically honed to connect people with their gifts and passion to something they can actually do. And it's not so that if once we get you in this computer system, we can get after you and make sure that you are attacked for volunteer opportunities every time there is one. It's not like that. It allows us to put out all the opportunities that come to us and allow you to choose which ones God might be calling you to do so that you can figure out how you can connect your gift to a real need somebody has and both honor God and help them at the same time and live out the gospel. And so we're going to launch this software program. It'll connect these things together. And if you're part of this, I think you'll be really encouraged. That's really about it. So I hope you're excited because we are.